Hi, welcome to Bark Bookshelf, a video series about books and the drinks they inspire. My name is Elias, and today we're talking about A Covenant of Ice by Karin Lowachee. A Covenant of Ice is the final book in the Crowns of Ischia novella trilogy. We've talked previously about Book 1, The Mountain Crown, and Book 2, The Desert Talon, here on Bark Bookshelf. They're these sorts of weird westerns where we have dragon riders in this heavily colonized world, and the tension of indigeneity and the knowledge of indigeneity with these controlling colonial forces, with big, bold dragon adventures and lots of big feelings, madness and queerness, and the power of the world weighing down upon you. And this is kicked up into the highest gear here at our grand finale, A Covenant of Ice, where one of our characters who we saw in the first novella, The Mountain Crown, Havinger Lily, is essentially possessed by the ghost of a man in his past and in the past of his husband, with whom they both served as part of this sort of conscripted colonial army. And so we have this grappling with a sense of self and a hostile presence within himself, and the sort of promise of justice being done or vengeance being done against these great colonial powers, and drawing on and on ever northward. It's one of those books that just sort of crashes over you like a wave. It was fun and an interesting challenge to pick this back up after having gone 6 months or so between reading Book 2 and our conclusion, Book 3. And so playing that, being a person outside of the comfort zone, was a really, I think, productive way for me in reading this. At the same time, now that the series is complete, I know a lot of folks really like to wait until a series is complete to read the whole thing all in one go. And I bet that's going to be a really fabulous reading experience as well, and one that I hope to enjoy on a reread a few years down the line, because these really are just remarkable sorts of novellas. They're thinking deeply, they are grand and action-packed and full of titanic feelings in these really, I think, well-grounded characters. It's been just a really delightful novella trilogy to read. I love when novellas get to be a series where we get to spend a little more time in the same world, but in these short, well-contained little packages. I mean, the novella is just a delicious format, and since it's Novella November, we had to round out our month with our novella here, and we had to have a drink. Our drinks for Book 1 and Book 2 were both mocktails named for two of these dragons, these Suon, that appear within the series, but for Book 3, we had to have a cocktail, specifically because I wanted this little bit of licorice in there, a flavor that appears in the novella, and Sambuca is a really great way to bring that, as we'll see here. Our drink today is the Suon, so named for this sort of species of dragon, these dragons, more completely. And we will begin with 1 ounce of Scotch whiskey. Something nice and smoky, but still something that plays well with others. I'm using a Speyside Scotch whiskey, something nice, a little more islandy. We've got these traveling by ships and through the air, this blend of smoke and salt and sea all together that's going to bring this wonderful, rich depth to our Suon. And then we will add our sweeteners. We will add half an ounce of sambuca, so this licorice sort of liqueur here. I'm going to bring that sort of anisey, wonderfully herbal flavor. And then for a bit of nuttiness, we're going to add half an ounce of pecan orgeat, pecan syrup. Lovely, rich nut flavors. Fantastic. And then finally, we'll add 1 ounce of heavy cream. So going back to our drink for book 1, The Mountain Crown, which featured some heavy cream as our sort of coffee mocktail, and we've got the smokiness that we saw in our tourmaline, our mocktail for book 2, The Desert Talon. So we'll get all of our ingredients in here, and we'll give that a bit of a dry shake just to get a little froth, a little foam for that heavy cream. So we want it to be nice and rich and sort of airy because, you know, we're flying with dragons. Lovely. Fantastic. Give that a stout tap. And then add our ice. As always, we add our ice last, even when we are the Suon of the glaciers. As you can see, this is the last book, Covenant of Ice. Add our ice last. The cocktail wisdom is everywhere for those with eyes to see. And we've got some wild dragons up in these glaciers here, like unknown dragons of antiquity, these Suon of the glaciers. It's so desperately cool. I was delighted. And we're going to shake it up, wake it up. Lovely. Nice, frosty, freezy, drive you to madness, but in the best possible way. Give that a stout tap to open it on up. There we go. Whoop. There we go. And strain that into a stemmed glass. Perfect. Lovely. And then we'll garnish that with a sprig of mint. Perfect. And there you have it. This is the Suon, inspired by A Covenant of Ice by Karin Lowachee. A Covenant of Ice is available now, as is the entire Crowns of Ishia trilogy. I've got a link to snag it in the description down below, as well as a link to purchase my book, Cocktails and Consoles, 75 Cocktails and Mocktails inspired by the wonderful world of video games. We've got links to various forms of social media, including Blue Sky and Instagram, where there is always a written version of today's recipe. Try the drink. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Hit that like button. It makes me so happy when you do. Subscribe if you haven't already so you never miss an episode. We've got 3 more episodes coming here in 2025, including a certain princess of the underworld, long awaited here on Bar Cart Bookshelf. So make sure you subscribe and check that out in the weeks to come. And so, until next time, cheers.